6 parishes that have had a retreat prior to 3 years ago. So a total of 13 parishes, something like that. You've got the maps, right? The handout. Those maps will show you where we are today. Heavily concentrated here. Bishop.
We won't forget that one.
Still concentrated here in the Rockford Diocese, Nebraska, Kansas, Missouri. So that's current. Those are parishes that had a retreat between 10 and 12. You've got the maps. So we've got growth plans. We have 57 existing parishes that have had a retreat in the last 3 years. We want to grow to 150 in 3 years. We can't do it without you. That's why you're all here today. And there are many more that are on the travel team that couldn't make it today. So how can you help? There are 3 ways you can help this ministry. Number 1, through your prayers, continued prayers. Thank you for those and keep them coming. Number 2, financially. And 3, the travel team. So financially, just for a minute, we've not done a good job communicating to the retreatants where the national ministry is and where we're going and what kind of status and shape we're in. 113 parishes, or 133. If just 100 conservatively retreatants for each parish, if their number is 100 retreatants that have gone through the retreat process, 133 parishes, we'd have conservatively 13,000 retreatants, right? If each of those retreatants was tithing just $5 a month, we would have absolutely no financial concerns whatsoever. But that's not the case at all. It's not the case. We've got maybe 100 ministry partners, and we need to grow that substantially. So we'll talk more about that later. And travel team, that's why we're here. So we're going to have you meet the new directors. They'll tell you a little bit about what they do in their roles. Brian's going to walk through the presentation. He shows pastors. So we've got that here for you to see. You can see how we present to them and talk about the whole process and cycle of evangelization within their parish and what they're responsible for. So, did I miss anything in the intro? Without further ado, I'll invite Joanne Reyes to talk about operations. Meet our new director of operations, Joanne.
Just to give you a little bit of background about me, I've been, for those of you who aren't at St. Thomas, those of you who are know that I've been the retreat coordinator here for the last 10 years. And I'm still doing that. So that's a part-time position, and I'm taking this new role as another part-time position. So I kind of laugh when I say it. I have 2 church part-time positions, which is a little scary, but it's working so far, so it's all good. The kinds of things that I'm going to be doing and have been doing on a day-to-day basis is, you'll hear a little bit more what Brian has planned, but we're expecting some big growth. So I'll be the person that's going to be putting together teams that will be going out. The other thing that really is needed that I'm finding that we're needing some is Brian and I are both finding out that we need to be a little bit more active within the parishes that exist. They aren't really connected to us. They probably have needs. We don't know exactly what they are. I'm certainly guessing that they need to know how to get more retreatants to the retreat. That's all of our problems. So having been a retreat coordinator, I kind of know what retreat coordinators need, those kinds of things. So I think that's going to be helpful in helping them support their ministries in their parishes. So I'm hoping to be able to use that. In fact, it wasn't long into it. It was maybe November. I started in November between all through the summer. I was the interim director, and I called that kind of my babysitting. I was kind of babysitting the ministry. I was giving it popcorn and showing it movies and letting it kind of just taking care of questions, but we're not doing much in the way of moving the peanut forward. So when I became one of the parents, I decided I had to do a few more things. But one of the things I found out is I looked at Monsignor and I said, I know tons of stuff about this retreat. He's like, well, of course. You've been doing it for 10 years. I'm like, I know, but I didn't know I knew. I didn't know what I knew. So that's going to be great to just share with people. And hopefully we'll be able, we're starting a new website, and that'll be a lot more informational based. So when Brian's out talking to pastors or talking to anybody, we can direct them right to the website, and there'll be a lot of information there for it. It was originally built as the website was originally built as a communication tool for small groups, and that never really happened. So we found a need to, rework it. So that will be coming out shortly. I'm also involved in the bookkeeping of the ministry, and it's not my forte. So I ask if any of you have an inclination towards that and would like to donate that as time, or if you know somebody that might. That would be much, much appreciated. We've got some folks from the Holy Family, the McCarthys, that are helping out, and they're awesome, but I know we could use much help there, so that would be great. Brian showed you our maps, John showed our maps. Also, I'd like to point out, you'll see one of the papers that was back there that you may have picked up it's called the Pipeline. So you can see there's a couple pages. These are parishes that have expressed interest. It's kind of a range from expressing interest to all the way somebody on there might be on their third retreat. You can see that these kinds of parishes are the ones that are going to need a lot more help getting them up and started and running. And so that's basically the work that I've been doing. And a lot of your names are on there as main evangelizers to be sent on the road. So that's where we're going. Does anybody have any questions about where we were or where we're going operationally?
I have a question.
Oh, here we go.
It's the status. What's the DGCXF mean under status?
The last page has got that.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Just kind of lets us know how many parishes we have at different phases.
Do you have any of those available?
Are they not? We're not having any more in the back.
Okay.
They're on here. Okay.
I'll share it back.
Maybe I was just going to say, if some of you are here, yeah, that'd be good. Any of you from St. Thomas that might want to look yours up, I can find you another copy or email it to you.
Oh, thank you.
Anything else? Linda, did you have a question?
That answered.
Okay, great. Love that. Anything else about operations? Well, then let's hear the big news. Here's Brian Truckin Road.
Thank you. Could you just start from the very beginning? Okay.
I have a question.
Sorry, the question came fast, Brian. Oh, you're a board member, go ahead.
Is Jordan using a software program to as far as managing the parishes and the people? Or is it,
Like a
it all
customer
works out?
relationship management system
Like
or something
Gold
like
Lane
that?
or something like that?
No, but I'm very interested.
Yeah, I think that would help us a ton, actually, because we're just getting to the spreadsheet,
Yeah.
and that would really,
Because I'm wondering, okay.
probably implementing something like that, simple, but
Something real easy, yeah.
really soon
Easy.
rather than
Oh,
later
I'm
would be
really
helpful.
liking the sound
Okay.
of this. Easy. Yeah.
Well, that keeps track of all your.
We need to chat.
Great question. Probably good, yes. We're thinking about all kinds of things.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes the basics we're not thinking about. Sometimes we're like already down the road and we got to come back. So that's great. Again, I'm Brian Truckenbrode. My wife Peggy and I, Peggy grew up here in Crystal Lake. I grew up in McHenry, and we've been at St. Thomas here for about 10 years. Only took me 8 years to come to Light of the World. So, we've been very blessed. We have 9 children, from 20 down to 4, 7 boys and 2 girls. Someone asked earlier,